Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Off the Clock. I'm your host, Sierra Jones. Today we have the mayor of Florence, Alabama, Andy Betterton, and his wife, Sandra. We are going to get to know Mayor Betterton outside of the many responsibilities he has of Florence, and his wife, Sandra, is going to let us know some things we may not know about Mayor Betterton. Without further ado, let's get you guys off the clock. Welcome back. So Mayor Betterton, who is Andy Betterton?
That's a tough question. Andy Betterton is the mayor of Florence, who has lived in the Sholes, lived in Florence for a little over 50 years. I came to Florence from Hartselle, which is in Morgan County, just south of Decatur. I grew up there. My family's been there. Most of them are gone now. My parents have gone to their heavenly reward, and I'm very grateful for what they gave me and their encouragement. And in fact, my dad never graduated from college, but insisted that I come to UNA. It was Florence State University then. My uncle had graduated here in the 50s, and he encouraged me, and I thought I would get my degree and go off to conquer the world somewhere, but decided that this was a place I wanted to live. And so raised my family. I've got 3 children and 7 grandchildren, and been involved in the community in lots of ways. Very involved with my church and community theater and other things. So I'm grateful for all the friendships and the memories that I've made right here in Florence, Alabama.
Yeah, so tell me, in college, what did you major in?
Well, which time? I actually got a degree in music education with emphasis on voice. Went back and got my master's in education, and decided later that I wanted to change my career, and went to back and got my accounting degree. So for the last almost 40 years, I've worked as a management accountant for businesses around the Shoals.
Wow, so can you sing?
I can sing.
Oh, maybe he'll sing for us.
No. Another day. No, I've been a part of church choirs and other music programs in the community. I was in the UNA band many years ago, and also in the collegiate singers. I've been involved with other groups that have sung around the community. So it's great memories there. And on top of that, I've been involved with community theater. We had the Gingerbread Theater. We've had the Zodiac and the Shoals Theater. So I've done quite a few things there.
That is pretty impressive. So music education, accounting, when did you know you wanted to get into politics?
I think that was just before I had I had to go to the psychologist. No. No, I think for me, I was a little surprised. I had always been, lots of my friends wouldn't agree with this. I'd been a little reserved in a number of ways. I'd always been able, as my wife and I talk about, able to work a room by shaking hands and that kind of thing. But the opportunity came open with the Florence City Schools. In the past, they'd had an appointed board, and the citizens changed that. It went to an elected board, and I chose to do that. I'd actually run for revenue commissioner here in Lauderdale County several years before that, and my good friend, who has now retired, beat me by 9 votes in the primary. And so I decided I would go to the school board route, and I enjoyed that very much. We had a lot of activity during that 7 years. We closed 2 elementary schools. We combined 2 high schools, and from Bradshaw and Coffee became Florence High School. In fact, this year they'll celebrate 20 years of Florence High School.
Wow.
And so I enjoyed that. My wife's a retired teacher. Where she taught is now the hospital, the new hospital. So great memories going to events. Florence City Schools is very active in the arts and music area, so it gave me some opportunities. In fact, I did a few parts in some of their productions they did, so
Wow.
it gave me an opportunity to interact with students in a very special way and go into the classrooms, encouraging teachers in all our programs. So that was certainly a highlight for me.
So you mentioned about being on the board, and then you were on the city council. What made you want to run for mayor?
Well, I mean, I guess is a process for me. I served 2 terms on Florence School Board, and the opportunity came for me to run for city council. I knew it'd be a different experience. It would still be in the same. I represented District 6. We have 6 council and school board districts, so it allowed me to work with the same group of citizens. So I decided to run for city council, and learn how that works. It's certainly much different in some ways than school board. School board, you're dealing with lots of parents and teachers.
Right.
As a city council, you're dealing with issues from potholes to trash to garbage to my power's out, those kinds of things. So I enjoyed that experience. I mean, obviously there's some challenging things out there.
Right.
And I guess for me, as I matured, that's a nice way of saying getting old. As I matured, I decided that I'd like to try that opportunity to be mayor, sort of an opportunity to end my career in a way that I felt excited about, because there were a lot of things that I wanted to do that hadn't been done, or at least try. So the citizens gave me that opportunity, and I've always tried to be positive. Whether I won or lost, I've always tried to do that with as much class as I can, and always tried to make sure that my opponents were, we did that fairly and positively. None of the divisive things you hear now. I try to steer very far away from that kind of thing. So I'm very pleased to have friends of some of the folks that have been my opponents in races. So I'm very pleased with that, and I certainly wish them well, and I certainly reach out and they give me information that we can continue to move our city forward.
Well, look, before we go on break, can you give advice for anyone watching right now that wants to be in your shoes, wants to be a politician? What would you tell them?
Well, that's interesting you say that, because one of my favorite experiences, in fact, when this is aired, I'll already had my State of the City address, but one of the individuals that has helped me early on as mayor, I ran into him. He just graduated from Florence High School. He was a drum major at the high school, now very involved at UNA. And I actually saw him at the Sportsplex. They were playing ball, and he was working part-time, in the concessions, that kind of thing. And when he stuck his hand out to me, first thing out of his mouth is, "I'm going to be mayor someday." So for me, being able to say, "Here's my experience. How can I help you?" And my message to him was, get out there, know people, know what's happening in the community, be a part of a whole gamut of activities out there. And it's either one handshake away, it's one opportunity away, it's one event away. And as people used to encourage me when I'd get down and out about my opportunities to be a elected official, is just keep working. I used to hate that. Just keep working. But I think that's the message for our community is, let's keep working. It's kind of like, and I believe I can say this, W.C. Handy said, it's kind of like blowing a trumpet. If you don't blow in the trumpet, if you don't try to make music, nothing's going to happen. So for me, it's sharing that message to, I'd love to see younger individuals run for office, be a part of it. I mean, we live in a very divisive world, not just community, state, national. We need to know that we got to simply work together. Yeah. We don't always have to agree, but we know we got a wonderful community, wonderful quality of life, and we can make it better day by day.
I love that. I love that. That's encouraging, not just if someone wants to be a politician, but just anyone. That's a good reminder. Just keep working. We'll be right back to hear from his wife, Sandra.
The greatest asset we have is our employees.
I'm very excited to welcome you to our new corporate website.
The National Space Club was founded as the National Rocket Club in 1957.
In North Alabama, we are extremely blessed.
Truth Home will test your theory in everything, the good things and the bad things. In everything, give him thanks.
Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain?
Welcome back. We have the First Lady of Florence, Alabama, Miss Sandra, here with us. Now look, I'm kind of curious. Does Mayor sing to you at home?
No,
Really?
he does not.
Do you ever ask him to?
Not really.
No? Now, like, how long have you guys been married?
31 years.
Wow. When will it be 32? When do you guys
Next April.
Next April. Wow. And where did you guys meet?
We met in the theater doing musical theater.
So you sing too?
A little bit.
Oh.
Right now only singing the church choir, but we were doing a musical called Kiss Me Kate at the Zodiac Theater, which is no longer there. That's where we met, and he thought I had a lot of money, so he started he started flirting with me.
He was hooked by it.
He was hooked, yes. No, actually, he came and sat down by me, and I was eating peanuts and raisins. I mixed them, and I was just eating them while rehearsal was going on. And he said, "What you eating there?"
Did you share some with him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And where you guys were both in the musical?
Yes.
Okay. And then how long did you date before you were married?
About 2 years.
So tell us this, what is the most romantic thing that the mayor's ever done for you?
Ever in my whole life?
Ever, or just however you want to take it. Ever, one of the things he does on the daily.
Well, probably in my whole life, the nicest, sweetest thing he ever did was take me to London on our anniversary. I think it was the 10th anniversary maybe. But around the house every day, he's wonderful.
Yeah.
He loads and unloads the dishwasher on a regular basis.
The simple things, what matters the most.
Yeah. He washes and folds the towels. I mean, he's just very nice to me. And he calls me nice names, which I won't repeat.
Well, tell us this, those who are watching, you said you've been married 31 years, 32 next April. Do you have any advice for just young couples of how you have been married 31 years now?
Well, we weren't young when we got married. But regardless of your age, how to stay married, is that what you wanted to know? Okay, well, you treat each other with respect. And you treat each other as equals. You never talk down to your spouse. And you're always there when they really, really need you. You know, you're not in their face all the time, but if that person needs you, you need to be there for them.
I love that. I love that. Before we go on break, this is a very random question. Are you ready for it?
Okay.
What is your favorite comfort food, and what is the mayor's favorite comfort food?
Oh, my goodness.
Because maybe those who are watching, they'll bring it to you guys. They'll drop it off as a gift.
Oh, that'd be nice,
Yeah.
wouldn't it? Oh, yeah. His favorite comfort food is oatmeal. I know that.
Okay.
I don't know that I really have a favorite comfort food. I just like food. There are a lot of things I like.
So does the mayor like the old-fashioned oats or the quick oats? Which one?
Either one.
Either one? Brown sugar
Oh, yeah.
or
Oh, yeah.
apple and cinnamon?
Brown
Brown
sugar,
sugar.
cinnamon, and walnuts or pecans.
Well, thank you so much. Those who are watching, if you ever want to drop off some comfort food to the mayor, you heard it here first. Oatmeal, brown sugar.
Oh, I like shrimp if you want to drop something off.
And shrimp. Don't forget the shrimp. We'll be right back.
Hello Huntsville is a weekly lifestyle audio and video podcast produced in studio and on location to showcase Huntsville's best activities, entertainment, neighborhoods, and all the unique attractions that make the Rocket City one of the top cities to live in the nation. Our primary audience is adults who live, work, play, and innovate in the Huntsville metro area. And each episode will feature Cynthia Joyner in conversation with business owners, decision makers, elected officials, and some of the city's most compelling personalities telling the stories of her hometown. Whether you're local, new in town, or just passing through, Hello Huntsville will have something for you.
Welcome back. Those who don't know or never heard of Florence, Alabama, can you just, what is Florence to you? What does it look like? How would you describe Florence?
My message always for Florence is it's great quality of life. It has great education, public and private, and a great place to make memories that last a lifetime. I mean, if I could mention a restaurant and get away with it, and really a symbol of Florence and memories that my grandkids will have, and countless parents and countless students will come here, and that'd be Trowbridge's. Their chicken salad sandwich, their ice cream cone.
It's a legend.
You know, and I know they've been written up as, you know, one of the top places you need to go in Alabama. So
and eat the orange pineapple ice cream.
Oh,
That's one of the things you need to do
it's
before
not
you
my
die.
favorite. It's not. It's not my favorite, but lots of people like orange pineapple ice cream.
I've never heard of that combination. I'm gonna have to try that out
It's
sometime.
I think they'll buy you one.
You think so?
Absolutely.
If you'll give them the
If
money.
not, I'll take you down there while we're cleaning my office.
Sounds good. Well, look, with what you can share, what are some things that are new and upcoming in Florence that we can look forward to?
Well, obviously, UNA now is the fastest growing four-year school in the state with over 10,000 students. We've got, you know, of the four cities here in the Shoals, I mean, we're right next to campus. We're very walkable, you know, with all the things that are happening, new programs, workforce development. So, you know, along with Dr. Kitts, I've appointed a town and gown committee to look at things we can do that we can work together. With a new stadium possibly going in on Pine Street, where we're working on some, you know, safety issues there. At the same time, we've had to deal with some collapsed sewer drains and that kind of thing. So it never fails. It changes daily. But when I came in as mayor, we really worked on our capital plan. So we've got lots of old stuff in our area that needs updating. So that's a constant battle. But we're in the process of replacing our parking deck that's been there 40 plus years, which had a life expectancy of 40. So we're building a new parking deck. followed by that old deck will be demolished, and a city hall. Our current city hall is 70 to 75 years old, very energy inefficient, and still got an old jail on one floor that can't be used at all. And it will ultimately have another deck, parking deck attached to it. So that's for the downtown. You got a lot with our Downtown Florence Alliance, doing wonderful things with businesses down here. You can come any weekend, whether it's First Friday or others. You're going to have a lot going on here. Next, we've been really working, obviously, we work well with Florence Lauderdale Tourism. Our Park and Recreation Department's got some great things going. We've done a whole process of citizen impact. So we've got our Veterans Park. The city of Florence has over 1,200 acres of park space. At Veterans Park, we're putting in pickleball tennis.
Oh, wow.
At the Sportsplex, which this year had over 1,700 kids playing baseball, softball, and soccer, we're putting in a new pod, which will have 4 fields, and we're trying to also add a 5th miracle field for special needs students and adults. So I'm excited about that. We recently had at the Sportsplex, we had our soccer camp, and they had over 240 kids out there. So we took some drone shots of it. So that's a challenge, getting people in and out of that park. McFarland is our 3rd park and rec area. We're going to renovate the old campground that's been there a long, long time, 60 plus spaces, and build a new additional double that space. So we've got to work on that, an old pier that's had ongoing issues. So we're working on the first phase of McFarland. McFarland has recently been host to the American Cruise Line. You know, we've had the ships there for the last several months, and folks come here and love our community. Either they go to see the Frank Lloyd Wright House, the Indian Mound, or they go over across the river and do some of the music things, music venues. So I'm excited about all that. Most importantly, I'm excited that now at the old hospital site, the West Village LLC is being developed, that 13 acres, which will be a mixed use area. Excited about that. Also, we've been working really on getting our College Street Bridge that would tie into Savannah Highway and our Sportsplex. So I think it's hard to help the public understand that it's not like going to the grocery store or Lowe's. You can't just go shop for it. You have to go through that whole process. And it's difficult with funding, how you match up funding, how you get it ready to be able to put out for bid, then you get it back and it costs too much, and you have to change that. But I'm excited. We've got several projects going. In fact, in order to do our city hall, we're building a new utilities payment center out close to the mall. It's hard to believe that we have 350 cars on average that go through making payments every single day. We've got 52,000 utility customers in Lauderdale and Florence. We cover the entire county. So I'm excited. I'm excited that we've got some things on the move. I'm very appreciative that citizens are being patient. I mean, obviously, parking downtown, parking on campus. I received a call from a lady whose child student couldn't find a parking place. What am I going to do about it? Well, I mean, it's a challenge, and I think people realize they may have to walk a little bit. We're changing that. We're doing some innovative things with parking. We're going to go to sort of a cashless system. Our parking meters now use coins. We're going to use an app called Park Mobile, which some other cities and state use. I know we've looked at what Huntsville's doing, Auburn and others. So we're trying to up our game as far as technology, and that's very important.
Wow, you guys have a lot going on.
Absolutely.
Now, how important is UNA to Florence and just the upbringing of it?
I think UNA is huge. I think the public has to understand that they're here, they spend money in our community, they can walk downtown, restaurants. I just think the economic impact of of UNA, of tourism. I think I'm amazed that the people come here. I met a guy recently that I've been going down and greeting the folks that come on the boats. There was a guy there who, we've got people from all over the country coming there. This guy was retired U.S. Secret Service. He had been on the president's detail for Richard Nixon. I met a guy at UNA who brought his son down here to go to UNA to fish, and I thought that was an NCAA sport, but it's not. It's just club sport. And I said, "Did you fly?" No, he drove. He 20-something hours, but he came to Florence, Alabama, for his son to, because of the Tennessee River and fishing. So it's incredible. I mean, we've got people coming here. We've got 3 or 4 disc golf courses, and to know there are people that are professional disc golfers. I mean, it's pretty incredible. So we got a lot of interest. A lot of people come here for a lot of different things, and we just keep working on it. We try to keep it clean, encouraged, and we ask our citizens to be respectful and encourage those folks who are here, because like I said, they spend money in our community. They allow us to do additional things that benefit our citizens.
I love that. And it sounds like you guys are not only, as you say, just working hard. Everyone around you is working hard too.
Well, I guess are we almost finished?
We are.
Well, here's what I'd like to say, and here's what I'm going to say in my state of the city is, Florence is simply the best.
We can just end on that note.
Okay.
Well, look, if people want to see the many things that you guys are doing or want to get updates on new buildings, everything like that, is there a certain website that persons can visit?
Well, we're in the process of updating our current website. That process doesn't happen
in the works.
But you can go on our website, which is florenceal.org, florenceal.org. And I actually have a weekly newsletter that's got lots of things that are happening. It comes out weekly, and you can sign up. It'll be sent by email, and we try to update that information. And we're on social media too.
Well, thank you, Mayor Betterton and First Lady Sandra, for you guys' time. It's been an absolute pleasure. As you guys heard, if you would like to be updated on everything going on in Florence, you can visit their website. You can also follow them on social media. And if you missed this episode or went to the bathroom and wanted to rewind, you can go on our YouTube channel, Off the Clock TV. Join us next week to see who's off the clock.